I was elected as presidential candidate for the party in November of last year, 2023. And I have just begun my campaign tour. As my campaign chairman has told you, I've been to the Eastern region, Western North. I've been to Ahafo-Bono and Bono East, Northeast, and today I'm in Savannah. And I have one clear understanding, and that is that it is only God who selects leaders. It is not men. It's only God who selects leaders. The good Bible says that unless the Lord builds the house, they will labor in vain. No. Those that build it. And so that has always been a guiding principle. Because if you look at it, when I was contesting to become flag bearer and leader of the party, many people said it wasn't going to happen. They said the MPP has never chosen someone from the north to lead them. But I said, if it is the will of God, it will happen. It is possible. And we went for the election, and it is clearly the will of God. I was elected with the highest margin of any first-time candidate in the NPP. And the NPP, as you know, is not a predominantly Muslim party. It is a predominantly Christian party. But I stood and I was a Muslim and I was elected to become the leader. That tells you about the diversity within our party. And I believe the workings of God. Because God can use anybody to change a society. Anybody. His ways are not our ways. And in the Bible, you know of the story of Cyrus and how God used Cyrus to help the people of Israel. That is very there. Cyrus was even not a believer in God. He did not know God, but God still used him. A friend of mine who is a priest jokingly asked me, he said, "Can anything good come out of Wale Wale?" And I said, yes, if it is the will of God, something good can come out of Wale Wale. And so, this is the nature of my story. I was born into a family, very good family, loving family. My father, at the time my father was marrying my mother was a Christian at the time. So she had to convert to marry my father. She was one of those who were sent to Wesley girls in those early days. And my father as a whole had 17 surviving children. We are 17. But what is interesting about our family, he wasn't joking, right? 17 children, a football team with reserves. He had 17 children. But one of the interesting things about us is that 9 of us are Christian and 8 of us are Muslim. The same family. The same family. And so, as a boy, I was a member of the Methodist Boys Brigade. I was a strong member of the Methodist Boys Brigade in Sakasaka. And then, today, I am vice president And I am also a patron of the Methodist Boys Brigade of Ghana today. So we are a very blessed country. Our country, Ghana, I believe, is very blessed. And we are blessed largely because of the religious tolerance that we have amongst the religions in Ghana. It's very special. Most of the time, we take it for granted. But in fact, that type of tolerance and acceptance of each other is unique to us. It is, for me, the heart of the peace that we enjoy in Ghana. Ghana is the most peaceful country in West Africa and one of the most peaceful countries in Africa. You know, and I don't think it just came by coincidence. It came because God has blessed this country with a lot of tolerance, with a lot of religious tolerance. Recently, I went to the Vatican and I had audience with His Holiness the Pope. He's just a remarkable man, very, very intelligent, very brilliant. He knows quite a lot, and he knows about Ghana, interestingly, quite a bit. And he said that one of the things he likes about Ghana is the tolerance we have amongst different religions in Ghana. And I asked him to pray for the country, to continue to pray so that we enhance this type of tolerance that we have in this country. So I am asking all of you also to continue to pray for this country as you do, always, because we have a blessed country. I seek the leadership of this country, you know, because I believe I have the vision and I have the heart to do a lot of good for our people. Historically, I've not always had it easy as a person. I've been a by-day farmer when I was growing up before. I've been a taxi driver when I was trying to finance my education in London. I've been a cleaner, cleaning dormitories when I was in school in Canada. So I know about the suffering people have. I care about people. Today, I am a patron of the Lepers Aid of Ghana to help lepers. And that gives me a whole lot of joy. Recently, my good friend, Father Campbell, also asked me to be a patron for the Mother Teresa's Soup Kitchen in Accra, where we are going to help a lot of street children, which is the work that he has been doing. So I have got a passion to help people, to help the disadvantaged, to help the poor. And that is what all of you do normally every day as men and women of God. So I believe that putting me in that position as a leader of this country, I can do a lot of good for our people. As a vice president over the last 7 years, I can say that I have brought a lot of policies and initiatives to bear, which shows that if you give me the responsibility to continue as president, I can do even more. I have been able to champion the issuance of the Ghana card. I've championed the digital address system that we have in Ghana now that really has helped us to be able to identify every location and every property in Ghana. The Ghana card now, I've been able to champion it such that if they give birth to a child in a hospital today, and you take that child for weigh-in, we are also going to give that child a Ghana card number and a birth certificate number at the same time. I have championed mobile money interoperability, and today we take it for granted. You can move money from your Momo account from one telco to another. You can move it from your Momo account to your bank account. And you can receive money from abroad onto your mobile money account. Before, you had to go to Western Union to line up to get it. But today, it's very simple. We have complete mobile money interoperability between telcos and between banks. And Ghana is the first country in the whole of Africa to have that mobile money interoperability. We take it for granted, but it is very, very important. When we came into office, mobile money transactions were only 78 billion. But after we've implemented this interoperability, it is now 1.9 trillion Ghana cedis every year. That is very high, and that has made Ghana the fastest growing mobile money market in the whole of Africa. It has also helped us to include everybody pretty much in the financial system, because your Momo account today is like a bank account. Most people don't even open bank accounts because they can do everything with their Momo accounts. Most people just use the Momo account, and that is helping everybody. And this is why in the last rankings in Africa last year for financial inclusion, Ghana came #1 in terms of access to financial inclusion in the whole of Africa. #1. And then I championed the introduction of medical drone, the zipline drone services, where drones are dropping medicines, blood, vaccines, and so on. We have set up 6 zipline drone centers in Ghana, and they are delivering medicines to 2,800 health centers and hospitals in the country, an average of about 100 flights a day. And we are saving lives every day. Childbirth, snake bites, all sorts of ailments. The drones are taking medicines to our rural areas. We don't see them in the towns, but in our rural areas, they are helping from Plains, Yagabakupori, Funsi, so many areas that we are taking drones and delivering medicines. And men and women of God, let me tell you that Ghana has taken leadership in medical drone delivery in the world, the whole world. Ghana is the largest medical drone delivery service in the world. Recently, they came to recruit somebody from Ghana to take him to San Francisco to lead a team of drone flight operators from Ghana, because they have the best experience here. From Ghana to San Francisco, that he's now there working, imparting his experience. And so we've done that. I also championed the introduction of 1 constituency, 1 ambulance. I championed the introduction of Agenda 111, gold for oil policy, the Sino-Hydro barter program, the digitalization of the passport office, of the ports, and so on. So I've been doing quite a bit as vice president. And I'm saying all of this just to make the point that if I've been able to do all this as vice president, then I believe if you make me president, I'll be able to do much, much more for this country. I'll be able to do much, much more. My vision for this country is to really create a tent that is big enough so that we can involve everybody, include everybody, to transform this country. I have a number of ideas that I want to bring into operation. A number of ideas. First of all, I believe that if this country is to move forward, we have to refocus on agriculture. That is our comparative advantage. We have to move into large-scale mechanized commercial farming with all the technology we can master. Agric is a highly technological area right now. And I want us as a country, I want to push resources into agriculture, because that will end up bringing down food prices and allow us to export a lot more. So agric is one of the areas I believe we should go into. Secondly, I want us to bring down the cost of electricity. And how am I going to do this? I want us to move away from dependence on fuel to generate electricity to a dependence on solar power. I want us to use the power that God has freely given us. Let's harness the solar power and put it into the generation mix. The first 4 years, I want us to add 2,000 megawatts of solar power. That's about half our consumption. And all the data shows that it should reduce the cost of electricity by 50%. And that will change the ability for companies to produce more, and for homes as well. So I believe that Ghana should move towards solar power to generate electricity. We are also going to move in public transport towards electric vehicles. That is the way the world is going now. But today, if there's a problem in the Middle East, we have nothing to do with. Petrol prices go up, transport prices go up, food prices go up. But if we move towards electric vehicles, Metro Mass and other transport systems in Ghana, if we move towards electric vehicles, then the only thing that matters is not fuel prices or spare parts prices. It's just the cost of charging the batteries. And I think that this is where we are moving. So we are trying to bring in a couple of hundred of electric buses this year so that we show the proof of concept of how this is going to reduce the cost of public transport so that we are not held hostage to the issues of increases in fuel prices. I also want us to change our tax system. The tax system as we have it today is a system that we inherited from the British. And it is a complicated system. It is not easy to understand. And so you see a lot of contestation between GRA and business people and individuals. They would bring you a tax bill and you will not even understand how this tax bill came about. So I've been thinking about how we change the tax system. I studied what was going on in other countries. I found out that the most tax competitive country in the world was Estonia. They have been #1 in tax competitiveness in the world for the last 10 years in a row. So I took a team and we went to Estonia to study what they were doing particularly. And it is a very simple tax system. It's a flat tax system. So it's very transparent. If it's 10%, it's 10% for everybody. It's like the way we pay tithe in church, right? If it's 10%, it's 10% for everybody. It's transparent, it's easy to comply with, and everybody can calculate what their tax is. So this is the tax system I want to introduce in Ghana, so that we replace what we have with something new, something transparent, something which people can easily comply with. And so to do this, I want all of us to start from a fresh page, because there's been a lot of contestation. So I want to introduce a tax amnesty in 2025 so that everybody will start on a fresh page. When I went to the Vatican, Cardinal Peter Turkson was showing me around the Basilica. And I saw some work going on in the Basilica. And I asked him what was happening. He said, well, we are making preparations. Next year is Jubilee year, 2025. And he explained to me the significance of the Jubilee year, that we are going to be forgiving people. That is a year of forgiveness. So I said to him, oh, then in 2025, that makes sense, because I'm also going to be forgiving people the taxes that they are owing GRA. So that we all start from the fresh start for everybody. So after 2025, don't come back and say you don't understand how GRA came up with your tax bill. We will calculate it on your mobile phone for you, so that everybody will understand. I also want to realign the import duty. The import duty is also another complicated one. There are two main things I want to do. I want Ghana to move forward with import duty. First of all, I want us to move to a flat rate system, which is based on what it is that you are bringing in, so that you know in cedis how much you are supposed to pay even before your goods arrive. Usually you wait, the goods arrive, you think you are paying 1,000 cedis, they say it's 1,005. You are not able to pay, they confiscate the good and even auction them for much less than you were willing to pay in the first place. So I believe that we need to move to a flat rate tax system. If it is spare parts, we say that 40-foot container, you bring in spare parts, it's 20,000, for example. So you know that is what it is. If it is 20-foot container, it's 10,000. If you are bringing in rice, if it's 40-foot, is this. You can determine in a flat way what it is. But if the current system is very prohibitive. So you keep going and you'll say, oh, the exchange rate has changed today. So you